Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? This lady, she hit me up. She's 67. She is living off her pension. She's only been living off her pension now for a couple of years. And she was pretty upset. She had received a notice that there might be a reduction in her pension. I told her, in my opinion, when you had time, I wish you would have bought gold and silver, because even if they do take something away from your pension, you can continue to supplement it with gold and silver. That doesn't help her now. She did make a good point that I should bring that up in a video. So I scoured around and found a video of somebody talking about it. And this is really important for you people who are close to retirement age. So I want to get into this because I think it's going to be much worse than what people are thinking. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. Okay, first things first. Bitcoin hit around 69,000 and then all of a sudden we see a huge drop. There are individuals out there who see the cryptocurrencies go up. When they get to a certain level, they take out some of the profits. You have other individuals who invest in cryptocurrencies. When cryptocurrency gets to a certain level, I'm going to take X percentage of the profits I've made out and leave the rest in there. So this is what I think you're seeing a lot of people do, is they're just grabbing their profits. So the overall crypto market has had a $1 billion hit. But anyways, that's why you see them in the red today. Bitcoin's at 63,631. Ethereum's at 3,551. Solana is at $123.44. XRP back down to reality, around 59 cents. Cardano is at 68 cents. Dogecoin is at 15 cents. Shiba is at 403. Avalanche at $38.77. Polkadot's at $9.22. Chainlink's at $18.86. Polygon is at $1.02. And Litecoin is sitting at $81.20. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. So this is a 5-day forecast. We know this has been climbing and climbing and climbing. It gets up there near a record. People sell a portion or all of their cryptocurrencies once they hit a certain target range. And that's why you start to see a dip here and started to recover. But once we hit that record, you can see the drop right here. It dropped all the way down to $61,000. Usually when people take out their profits, they see this huge drop, then they might consider jumping back in. And when it starts to rebound, turn around and buy it all back, and you start to see an increase in price like this. But it went from 61 on up to 63. We're waiting for it to stabilize. But yeah, usually that's what happens when you see crap like this taking place. Terra Luna is at 3019. In the green, it's up 8%. Satana is at 30877. You have gold at $2,137.60 per ounce. You have silver at $23.91 an ounce. So I was trying to find a good story or a video that can explain what the heck is going on and why it is you should really start thinking about buying gold and silver if you haven't already. Or you might think about moving your IRA or your 401ks over into gold and silver. And you could do that without having to pay any taxes. So let's hear what this gentleman has to say and why it is you should be concerned if you're thinking about retiring.
Let's get into a little bit about what's happening in the economy. Trailer orders plunged 38% in November compared to October. Not a good sign for the U.S. economy. That is, a 38% plunge in November from October. That's a huge plunge. Orders in November of 2022 were 45% higher than in November of 2023. That is a huge number. So obviously we're seeing less product being shipped now with everything happening in the Red Sea, Panama Canal, and more disruption in the Middle East. we're going to see maybe possible supply chains breaking, products getting here at a much slower pace, probably not as bad as a couple of years ago. But no doubt, when you see trailer orders plunging to this degree, it is telling us something. Here's one that everybody should be paying attention to. Pension fund crisis, question mark. CalSTRS seeks $30 billion. CalSTRS, one of the biggest pension plans in the United States of America, plans to borrow tens of billions of dollars to maintain liquidity instead of triggering a fire sale of its assets. The California State Teachers Retirement System has roughly $318 billion in its piggy bank, but it's going to need to borrow about 10% of that. Now, why is that? Well, like many other pensions, they invested in real estate. What kind of real estate? Commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is being decimated. And you've got to ask yourself, not just CalSTRS, this pension here in California, but other pensions, could be your pension.
Not just in real estate. There are a lot of pensions that were invested in companies over in China, and their pensions are getting hit hard. You got to understand that China is on the verge of bankruptcy. So if your IRA or your 401k is invested in the companies over there and those companies go belly up, then you lose your pension. That's why I keep telling people 20, 25, 30% of your pension should be in gold and silver to protect yourself in case the rest of it goes to crap.
How much of your pension is invested in commercial real estate? And we are going to see an absolute bloodbath in commercial real estate. It's already begun. I don't think we've ever seen commercial real estate hit as hard as it's been hit right now. It's going to get much, much worse.
Looky here. This is from March the 3rd. The abandoned luxury towers that graffiti exposed. This is in downtown Los Angeles. There was construction happening on these buildings and then stopped. That's because of where we are economically. Graffitiers are hitting up these buildings and it's causing an issue in downtown Los Angeles. Well, why are they able to get up on these buildings and graffiti them? Because there's nobody there. There's no business. There's no occupancy. There's no nothing. This guy's name is Meadow Leo. He's going to show you what it looks like over there in San Francisco at the moment. I am going to just play a couple minutes of it. I'm going to speed up the video speed. So this is what it looks like in downtown San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland and Los Angeles, just like this. Look at these places. There's no businesses. There's a ton of homelessness. We have drug abuse, but we're bringing in millions of immigrants. Some of these stores are mom and pop stores that have been in these neighborhoods for decades, and they have no choice but to close down. Everywhere you go, this guy goes to all the cities. He just walks down the street and he shows you that these businesses are closed everywhere. Walgreens, AT&T, banks, hotels, all of them closed. These people can't afford to pay their leases or their mortgages on the real estate, so they end up in bankruptcy. And then you have people like from the World Economic Forum come along and buy these places for pennies on a dollar. So like he said, if your pension is invested into these commercial real estate properties, then your pensions are taking heavy, heavy hits. If your pension is invested in other things, and right now it's, sitting there, it's doing okay, you might want to consider moving part of or all of it over into a gold or silver IRA or 401k. You can do that.
Think about the pensions that are invested in commercial real estate and what's going to happen as commercial real estate collapses. What's it going to do to pensions? I do believe, we haven't talked about this in a long time, but I think we're going to see a time in America where, people are going to get a letter and the letter is going to say, hey, we have some really bad news for you. Unfortunately, you're only going to get 50% of your pension.
Yeah, that's what happened to this lady. So they're already seeing this happen now.
You're only going to get 75% of your pension. You'll only get 25% of your pension. And some people may get nothing. They will get zero. Everybody just believes that all of this is indestructible. It's immune, that the pension system could never collapse. Well, that is a fallacy. and looking at how much money has been invested, and they were able to borrow money so cheap and invest in commercial real estate. Now it's all having to be refinanced starting this year. Prices are plummeting. Office buildings are sitting vacant. We're seeing all these commercial structures sitting vacant because businesses can't make it, or the crime is so bad that they have to close down. And of course, people just aren't going back to the offices. And so you're going to see just a massive collapse in commercial real estate. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit it. And you have to look at what's tied into commercial real estate: pensions. Pensions. And I've said for years that you can't rely on your pension to be there 10 years from now, 5 years from now. You should be putting something away. You should be putting some gold away, putting some silver away. Just because if something happens to that pension, or that pension takes a massive haircut, at least you have something else to fall back on. Most people have absolutely nothing. They just believe that, they're going to, hit the jackpot at the end of their career, and they'll just have their pension and ride off into the sunset. That used to be. But that is not going to be the future of the United States pension system forever. Things are changing. They're changing rapidly. Here's another one. BRICS expands footprint in global south. This on the Hedge today. January 1st. Most people were not aware of this. You didn't really hear much of this on the news. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Emirates formally join the BRICS group. January 1st, 2024. This now adds to the original group of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. When you take a look at this group of countries right now, you take India, about 1.5 billion people, China, close to about 1.5 billion people. Literally, half the people on planet Earth live in those two countries. You take Saudi Arabia, Iran, United Emirates, Russia. These are oil superpowers. Russia, China, massive militaries, massive nuclear capabilities, huge advancements, huge technology. China, the four biggest banks in the world, China holding more gold than anybody in the world, number 2 to that. Russia, number 3 to that, probably, I think, India. Food production. Russia is huge, and obviously it looks like they're going to take over Ukraine, and that will they will literally be the entire breadbasket over there. It's amazing looking at these countries, the GDP, the population, what they produce, what they manufacture. China alone manufactures nearly everything in the world. So how people here in America don't see this as a threat, I don't understand it. And BRICS is going to continue to grow. As they grow, they're going to become more powerful and have more influence on the world. And they're going to grow a lot more because the world is sick and tired of the weaponization of the US dollar. And so you're going to see big changes coming to the world. It's already begun, but things are going to accelerate, just like they've begun to accelerate in 2024.
Yeah, why the citizens of the United States got comfortable with our politicians outsourcing all of our jobs to overseas, especially very important things like pharmaceuticals. When Trump was having a trade war with them, they were concerned that they were going to cut off the medicines that seniors need because we don't manufacture it here. And that's still an issue. So now take all that, despite the fact that most likely our politicians and our banks are going to raid our bank accounts to the bail-in, but also go after your pensions. What are you going to have? If you don't have anything outside of the system, you're screwed. How are they going to get this money? Now let me add in another little nugget. The cost of illegal immigration in the United States. So they are only guesstimating that there's 12.8 million, and that was by October of 2023, and they continue to come over our borders. Take that in consideration. What is the cost for them to be here? Guesstimating that it costs $68,000 per illegal immigrant. So let's just use the numbers that they got. 12.8 million illegal immigrants times the 68,000 that they think it costs per year. Yeah, take a look at this. That would be $870 billion per year. Remember, we're only using guesstimations. This is money that could be used towards helping American citizens, the homeless, the needy, poor neighborhoods. Almost $1 trillion a year. That's a year. Where are they going to get the money for this? If everybody is out of work, where is this almost $1 trillion coming from? What they're going to do is just take all your money out of the accounts, take all your money out of pensions, out of savings, out of your investments. We have to do what's right for the masses. In order for us to help everybody, we need to take all the money. And there's going to be a lot of millionaires that are going to be upset because they're going to get hit too. And then they'll force us into this universal basic income and into the central bank digital currency, except for those people who are out of the system. You know, people who have physical gold and silver. That's something to consider. Anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I look forward to your comments, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.